Okay. Testing. Mic check. Mic check 1212. Are we live here on Mark Dreams Radio? Yo, guys, I have been working on this new fucking beat for like the past 2, 3 days now. And it is literally like every time I start a new beat, that new beat becomes my favorite beat, my favorite project. And right now I'm working on this new project. But like yesterday, I'm gonna talk about the apartment flooding and all this shit in a little bit. After there gets a few more people in here. Um, okay, we are currently live. Yes, we are, bro. DMT Infinity, what's going on, bro? I'm gonna talk about what happened in a little bit. I might as well just smoke real quick, pack up, drink some kratom, and then I want to talk about the apartment, the beat I've been working on because I'm probably gonna work on the beat while I'm here live as well. Um, but like literally, if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you guys have heard the new beat that I've been working on. And like literally, yeah, I don't know. Bronx Tug, what's going on? I don't know what I should do first. Smoke, do a dab. I guess I'm gonna smoke some weed. I'm gonna smoke a bong pack with some wax in it, and then do a dab. Um, or maybe I'll just fucking do a dab if I can't find the bong or the bowl. Like literally, the new beat I'm working on. What's funny is I came up for a name for it yesterday. I just don't even remember what I called it, but it was so fucking awesome. That was like, yeah, that makes because making names for songs that don't have words in them is complicated for me. Because when I used to rap, it was so much easier to make a name for the song because I would sing like I would just say the name of the song was the words that I said in the chorus or something. Put some wax in this bitch. No, of course I don't have a lighter, and my torch is fucked up, and I don't know where I put my lighter. I lost my lighter 2 days ago. When my apartment flooded, I lost the lighter because like it was really hectic and it was fucking annoying. And like there's still water in the fucking bathroom that like DMT Infinity says, I feel you. I'm only 3 tracks away from finishing music to meditate to. Fuck yeah, bro. That's awesome. I like the way you said music to meditate to. That's awesome. But because the second one. But I'm almost done with psychedelics and computers. But every time I say I'm done, I end up making a song that I'm like, no, I'll be done when this song is done because I want this song on the album. And then it's like, obviously, the problem that I'm gonna have is eventually here I'm gonna have to just call psychedelics and computers a done album, and then technically I guess start working on the next album already. Like that's my problem as an artist, as a musician. I'm always on to the next one. Like I'm always like psychedelics and computers are going to be an album that I drop, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to be performing the songs and all this other shit. But I'm going to be over those songs already. Like those songs are so last year to me. I don't fucking know. Like the new music that I'm making is always my favorite music. So like I'm on to the next project. So it's like from psychedelics and computers to I don't know what my next project is. I fucking came up with this idea for a name for my next project yesterday, but I don't remember. Oh no, it wasn't this beat that I named. It was another beat that I named. This beat that I made when my ex broke up with me. Like literally the next day, I started a beat and I started working on that beat like 4 days ago again, and started like getting it done or whatever. Bronx Tug, fuck that. I fucking love you for that, man. So psychedelics and computers is definitely a name Terrence McKenna would approve of. Fuck yeah. DMT Infinity says, I have mad stock right now, so I'm a vape along, and I also finally got one of those Delta 10 vape pens in, so I'm gonna send you the dude's email. Okay, definitely. Because bro, I've been dying to try Delta 10 and I've been dying to try THCO acetate. Those are two molecules that I am dying to fucking try. Just so I can finally feel and tell the difference myself, just between like the differences between Delta 9, Delta 8, Delta 10, and THCO acetate. Because like I smoked enough Delta 9 wax and Delta 8 wax to know the difference between those two. And like in between, like somebody blindfolded me and then had me do a dab of Delta 9 or and Delta 8, I would be able to tell the difference. And that's kind of why I would love to try THCO acetate, and I would love to try Delta 10 just so um shit, if somebody gives me a blind test, I'd be able to tell the differences and shit. But DMT Infinity says, do you make your albums from start to finish, all tracks in order, or is the arrangement of each track decided after all the tracks are done? Um, Completely after all the tracks are done, because I have no idea what I'm creating when I'm creating it. Like, I had no idea that I was creating this album until the album had like 5 songs done to it, and these 5 songs all had a similar sound to them, and that's when I decided to kind of make Psychedelics and Computers an album, because that's literally what came to my head. Like as I was listening to those 5 songs that I made, I was like, these shits sound like Psychedelics and Computers. Like it sounded like um just Psychedelics and Computers. So that's why I was like, huh, I guess I'm gonna make a fucking album. And like it was a random thing because I had no intentions to make an album. Like I literally was just making beats just because it's what I do when I'm sad, when I'm happy, when things are going great, I like to make a beat. When things are going horrible, I like to make a beat. Like it's literally just my therapist, and it's a way to express myself. But then as I was listening to all the songs, I was like, okay, these all deserve to be in a thing, like in their own um thing packaged together. So I'm like, yeah, let me package them in an album together. And then I did some research on like how do I upload my music to iTunes, to Spotify, to Amazon, to all these places. And then from there, I was like, okay, I can actually make this a real legitimate album. Um, so yeah, that's that. And now I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm gonna just do this for the rest of my life. Like, so Psychedelics and Computers is the album that that's about to drop. But this next album, I have no idea, because the problem is I love the oh my god, Bronx Tug, you are fucking awesome, bro. That is genius. Terrence McKenna says, I do in fact approve of the title of your album. If only, man. Like if only that was really Terrence, I'd be like, yo, bro. Like I would sit here, I'd be fanboying right now. I'd be like, oh my god, bro, like Terrence is really fucking in my like yeah, I would lose my mind. But because I don't believe you should like worship humans or idolize people or or whatever. But let me tell you, Terrence McKenna is one of those humans that I'd be like, bro, you're fucking amazing. Oh yeah, fuck. This is my torch. Oh shit, fuck. This is the torch that broke. But Bronx Tug, that is the plan then, okay? So I'm gonna make a Mark Dreams music YouTube channel that I'm gonna need y'all's help with because yeah. So on that YouTube channel, I just need y'all to tell y'all friends and everyone you know to go subscribe to Mark Dreams Music. I'll let y'all know when it's done. It'll probably be up tomorrow, and I have so many behind the scenes videos and so many videos about of me making things and like really that behind the scenes of my music is really on my Instagram. Like if you're not if you don't follow my Instagram, then definitely go check out my Instagram, Mark Dreams 25. But I actually think that's a better idea to start putting these all on a YouTube channel and try to build the music fan base because like with this here with my philosophy, I just got my homies that like love, just philosophy, just like I do. So we sit here, we philosophize, y'all just listen to me fucking ramble and like, whatever. But there are some people that are going to like in the future, I can see there are some people that are just going to find me from my music. There are some people that literally they'll find like my as I make Mark Dreams music YouTube channel. Um there are people that are just gonna find that, love my music, and that's that. And then they're gonna later on find out that holy shit, this dude's had another YouTube channel, and he philosophizes. And oh my god, he has a Trip Report YouTube channel. Because my Trip Report YouTube channel is blowing up. It's starting to. I can see progression. I almost have 700 subscribers over there, and fucking it's like the views are getting outrageous. Like every time I drop a video, it's a guaranteed like 100 views or more, and I got a bunch of videos in the thousands, and 2 or 3 videos over 10,000 views, and like so that channel, I'm kind of like I don't upload as much there. I'm a little more careful there because as much as that's has more traction, more whatever. It's also the channel that's more at risk of fucking being gone, right? Of getting deleted off the internet because of what I'm talking about. It's this thing that you can see. Oh shit, you might not even be subscribed to my Trip Report. That's the thing. I don't advertise my Trip Report channel that often because it worries me. Like I don't. There's a reason why I separated my content, and on this channel, it's just me philosophizing, talking, and I might talk about psychedelics here and there, but not my actual trips themselves. My Trip Report channel is just Mark Dreams Trip Reports. Like literally, it's not one word, so it's all separated. But if you just type in Mark Dreams Trip Reports, it'll come up. And it's that I use the icon of like the Terrence McKenna cartoon when he smoked DMT, where he's sitting there and he's like, and like it's like the whole fucking giant thing or whatever. But on there, it's my Trip Reports, and I don't know. On there, I get more views, and that's the thing. I realized that fuck yeah, DMT Infinity, but for real though, I realize that I get more things there because people want to know that information. People want to know. People want to hear what actually happened on your actual trip. But and it's this thing that only the real ones, only the real fucking psychonauts, and I mean the real fucking hardcore people who genuinely love philosophy, genuinely love information, love knowledge, they're going to be also here on my normal I guess philosophy channel, cuz like even people who don't trip can sit down and listen to a trip report. Like it to other people it's like cool or something. It's like some oh that sounded cool, or this dude's talking about how he did 250 morning glory seeds and had this awesome experience, or he did this much LSD and had wild sex, had a wild sexual experience, and all these things sound so cool. Um because I've had some wild sexual experiences that I've on psychedelics that I've had trip reports about. I have some wild, scary spiritual experiences that I have trip reports about, and like I don't know. There's a trip report on there about. I mean, there's things that most people won't even consider like a trip report, but it is. Like when I took Blue Vervain and had this weird experience. I was taking Blue Vervain. I think it was multiple days or something, and uh, I heard this Native American flute being played down by the river when there was no sound. Like I was so down by the river that I couldn't even hear cars anymore, so it was silent. But then in the distance, I heard this like this Native American flute sound, and it like scared the shit out of me. So I made a trip report about that, because I'm pretty sure that was from the herb I was taking. And then there was a trip report also, um, about Space Lotus, and that was really interesting because that was different. And but yeah, well, I guess I could talk about this shit now. My fucking apartment flooded, right? My apartment flooded y- yesterday. Okay, so yesterday, I wake up and I go to use the bathroom, right? And oh, real quick before I let me answer this. Bronk Tug says, "Did you grow blue vervain or space lotus?" No, I So I have a friend who owns this company in Thailand who basically knows a blue lotus farmer who has a blue lotus farm or a blue lotus. I guess it's called a farm, but like they have ponds of blue lotus. But they also grow space lotus, and they also have, I think, white lotus as well, and whatever. And they make extracts, and they have all different types of things or whatever. So I got the space lotus from them, uh, and then the blue vervain goes down by the river. So like where I'm at in my area, there's a shit ton of blue vervain, white vervain, motherwort, mugwort. Um, I mean, just a shit ton of herbs. So like, I either got the blue vervain from the river or I bought it from eBay. I don't remember. Um, but either way, I made an extract with it. Well, basically, I made like this brew, and then with that brew, I ended up making a syrup where I mixed half honey and half the brew, and the brew was so brewed like for a long time to the point where it was kind of thick. So I mixed it with the honey, and then mixed it with whatever, and then yeah. So noon Nunya Nunya says, would shrooms make my anxiety worse? Yes. Yes. I'm just gonna say yes because for me, mushrooms kind of caused an anxiety issue for like months afterwards the first time I dived with mushrooms. So the first time diving deep with mushrooms was 2016, and the summer of 2016 was also the first time I did LSD. But I'm pretty sure looking back at it, I've thought about this many times. Looking back at it, I'm pretty sure that it was the mushrooms that caused this anxiety problem I had back then, which then I quit smoking weed. But it was like the mushrooms were pushing me towards something because there's a reason for the anxiety. Anxiety, it was like I was out of control at the time. I recently got like $8,000 back in taxes and spent like half of that shit on a fucking shit ton of weed that I ended up just smoking, not selling any of it, and just smoked it all, made wax with it all, did all this shit, abused the fuck out of it, um, and then I ended up quitting weed or went vegan for the first time in my life, like all because of like this anxiety, and then I had a seizure, and then um and now I don't know what the seizure was from. I don't know if it was from me smoking dirty wax because I was making wax, and then I was ended up smoking dirty wax because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and eventually I learned how to make it correctly. But by then I didn't smoke too much fucking dirty wax and fucked up my lungs or something, and too much access to butane or whatever can cause seizures. Like I was doing research and talked to my doctor at the time, but like there's also research that mushrooms can cause seizures, and not it's not like horrible. It's just the seizure is like if there's too many neurons firing back and forth in your brain, and it's like a like an overload, and it's like that, and it's kind of the same reason why people have seizures if they have epilepsy, and there's like flashing lights because like why can lights cause a seizure? It's weird. It's because the way that it's making your brain react. And so I think that the mushrooms did something, but I think they did something on purpose. I think it was pushing me towards, I needed to gain control. I needed to see something that I was not able to see, and I wouldn't have been able to see if it wasn't for the anxiety, for the seizure, for the whatever, I don't know. But it's a weird thing that I never wanted to say it was the mushrooms that did that, but I also understand that the mushrooms are not like LSD. It's not like ayahuasca. It's not like whatever. The mushroom has a funny, like, I'm a fuck with you type attitude or type personality. Like, the mushroom's personality is more, it would fucking, like, ayahuasca would be like, you should really, they would kind of coddle you through it and try to be like, oh, you should really, try to gain control of yourself and look at yourself. And do you realize what you're doing to yourself? It's okay to smoke weed, but do you realize that you feel like you can't live without it? It's okay to um, eat meat, but do you realize that you feel like you have to eat it all day, every day? And it's like, whatever. And like, it was these realizations that um, ayahuasca would have been like, oh, it's okay, and coddled me through it and gave me that information. The mushrooms, the way that they give me that information is during the trip, I had fucking insane anxiety and just going through the rough thing. Um, but then after the trip, it's like you have fucking panic attacks almost, or like then also like I said, I don't know, I had that seizure or whatever, and it's like I don't know if it was from that, but all I know is on some spiritual shit that the mushroom don't give a fuck, and it's not human, and it don't give a fuck about the little humans thinking that they're so big and bad, so it literally like scares you and terrifies you and fucking puts you in anxiety and like um I don't know, and I think it did this for me because at the time I'm like, well, I've done DMT hundreds of times, and like I would say this shit in my head. Like if I'm tripping on the mushroom and like shit's getting really rough and I'm like kind of feeling anxiety, I'd be like, well, this is nothing. Like I've done DMT and it was worse, like more experience. I can handle this, and it's like thinking like that. It makes it like, motherfucker, you think you can handle it? Let me show you what you can handle. Boom, and then just the mushroom is just one of the thing that lets you know it's in control, it's in charge, and I love it though. I love that about it. Like that's why I take mushrooms, I guess, because it's one of the only psychedelics that I can't really handle. Uh, I don't like the anxiety part of it. Like when I get the anxiety feeling of LSD, when LSD starts to come up, you get a little anxious and it's just like, it's a little rough, sometimes going from sober to tripping, right, to the peak. But once you get there, it's all smooth sailing. But on the way there, it's a little like rough. With LSD, I've learned how to work with it and just deal with it, and like it's fine, whatever. With DMT, I've learned how to work with it and deal with it because it's only with DMT, it's only the first 11 seconds. Like the first 11 seconds, if you can make it past that, you'll be fine. But that first 11 seconds, that rip from the body to the not body sucks. But with the mushroom, man, it's just rough. Um, DMT Infinity says, "Peace, love a good. People love a good story, especially ones based on real stories, real shit." Um, Nanya Bronk Tug says, "Don't think about eating meat while tripping." Bro, I've eaten. That's the thing. I've done all these weird things, and I mean, I eat meat while I'm tripping. I eat now, like years after working with these substances, years after working with these things. Now, I eat meat. I mean, I eat pizza. I eat, I don't know. Now, 2020, I think it was the beginning of 2020. Um, my ex and I had a trip, and we were at my mom's house, and we had a trip, and she had me make burgers at the end of our trip. So I'm sitting there with the fucking raw hamburger in my hand, crushing the raw hamburger, making the burgers, and it was just like so. I've candy flipped many times, um, MDMA and LSD, uh, but losing connection. Know how I'm losing connection, but well, I think I fixed it. Thank goodness. Nunya says, "Tell us about a trip gone bad." Hmm. So the complicated thing with my bad trips or the trips that gone bad for me. Oh shit, that's why it's starting to run slow because I was trying to open up. Hold on. Yep, that's why. So the issue with trips that gone bad for me, if I explained almost, if I explained the other half of my trips, you guys would probably say almost every trip went bad, or like to a lot of people, the things that I go through is it's rough. But I that's the whole reason I like going through them. So there was trips where where me and my girl, where me and my ex, right? Um, if you and your girl have a issue that you guys didn't talk about, and then you know you trip, it's gonna come out on the trip. So the only time I think I've had trips that went bad is when there are trips where maybe me and my ex ended up um like in an argument or something. Like being in an argument like while you're tripping is horrible. um and then because at the end of it we just sit there and hold each other and chatter together and cry together and explain how sorry we are or whatever the fuck. But like, and then probably just laughed it off and had some sex about it or something, like. But like that's because LSD is so maddening that like there's a madness to it. So when you're in the heightness of the LSD madness, I would say that, like I said, other people would consider it bad, but I loved that trip. Like other people, like if they went through that trip, they would say that was horrible. You should never do LSD. Like I don't know, because I was in the madness. Like I ended up yelling, and like then I felt like shit, so then I ended up crying, and we're tripping balls, and the fucking walls are dripping, and like she's fucking like this pink color that doesn't exist, and my skin is the same type color, and like um but it's this weird thing where when we would trip, we're not just tripping to see colors or trails or whatever. We're tripping to face ourselves, to look at ourselves. And that's kind of, so those trips to me, as rough as they were or as bad as other people would say they were, I would genuinely say I am thankful. No, no. All right, so Just the Messenger says LSD madness, it's your madness. No, 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 no. The madness of LSD, what I mean is there is a Mad Hatter, Joker esque archetype vibe to LSD. LSD 25, the molecule, if you compared LSD to ayahuasca, there is no madness to ayahuasca. The ayahuasca has a mothering vibe to it. The mushrooms have an alien esque archetype vibe to them. I'm talking about their personality. I'm talking about that they have a personality. No, LSD doesn't look in the like. Yes, it does make you look in the mirror, but I'm talking about the actual personality of the actual molecules. Um, just like many people say that the mushroom has this uh, funny uh, in a sense, dry humor type vibe. Um, Obviously, we are the alien, but no, the mushroom is actually an alien because the mushroom spore most likely came from another dimension. LSD is half synthetic, so it's basically an AI psychedelic. It's without science and without, you can't create LSD. LSD was created from LSA, and LSA is the natural version of it. So you would say LSD is like an AI. And that AI feel is what I mean by the madness. These English words get miscommunicated, but you can feel that LSD is half synthetic in the actual LSD experience. And that feeling is what causes this uh, mind stretch. That is the madness, the mind stretch. Because I've taken LSD hundreds of times, and I can tell you that there is a difference in the personalities of all these different psychedelics. They all have slightly different um, things. Like, I don't know, just English words fail when trying to explain this shit. You just have to, compare the LSD to the mushroom, to the ayahuasca, to the, whatever to yourself. Like, take these things, in high doses or whatever, and compare your own mindset, your own mind, and the way that you control your mind while you're on it. And like I said, you can feel, and I've tested this out. I've asked many people, it's just you figure it out. But it's a complicated thing because all these psychedelics are different from one another. But that's why I would say nothing's gone bad. It's just sometimes getting to know the psychedelic gets rough. Your trips end up rough, um, because then it pushes back. That's the thing. If you push the psychedelic, they will push back. Um, but they won't push back to someone who's not willing to push to them. Like I don't know, they're aware. They're consciously aware of who's doing the psychedelic, what's doing it, and that's why everyone gets their own different things out of it because sometimes the psychedelic doesn't want to show you the same thing it showed someone else because maybe showing you that thing wouldn't benefit you, but showing someone else it would benefit them. It's this complicated thing. And all this information I got, I just gained from direct experience from the actual psychedelics. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about half the fucking time, bro. Like, for real. Like, I'm just some guy that does this shit that talks about what I does, and I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing half the time, but like, I'm doing something. Dab time, 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 dab time. What? What time is it? Dab time. Just the messenger, you're funny. Because your ego says, I don't know the psychedelics. Um, I don't know the site. I do know the psychedelics. Oh, there's some shit going on outside. Living in the hood, you'll hear a bunch of funny shit. But I don't know what psychedelics you're taking, my friend. I don't know your connect. I don't know where you get your shit from. But I can tell you that I know my own experiences, and I don't know what's. I don't. You need to watch my video. It says must watch. No matter how many trips you've had, you don't know something. Remain humble or something like that. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people need to do, especially you, my friend. Like I love you. Like I love all y'all with all my heart. And just the messengers, you seem like you love the psychedelics as much as I do. Um, I just think you need to, calm down a little bit on thinking that you know what's best for me or you, or thinking that you know what's best for. Well, you know what's best for you. Like, trust me, you know everything that's best for you. Your life seems to be working perfect for you. But if I adapted your information and knowledge to my life, I would be miserable, because it wouldn't be real to me. Your information is false to me, but I'm not. But I would never. My ego's not going to say, "Hey, you're speaking false information," yada yada, because I think you're speaking the real information for yourself. That it's real to you, and that's okay. But you need to also accept that you can't deny my own actual experiences. I've never seen a trip report from you about your own trips, about your own things. All you keep saying is that you know, but you're not telling me how you know. Um, the psychedelics do know what's best for all humans, but they didn't tell you what was best for me. I'm gonna tell you that. Your psychedelics trips have never told you what is best for Mark Dreams. Ever. Just like my psychedelic trips have never told me what was best for you. Ever. You've never came up in any of my trips ever. Like I don't know. It's not about my trips are different than your trips, and your trips are different than my trips, and you are here to speak your own knowledge and spit it out. The only man that's ego is you, my friend. And yeah, you're right. I am using my ego a little bit right now because you disrespected me. And you think it's okay to disrespect people. Like you're in my live stream. So yeah, this is my space. And you can't just come into my space saying that just because I speak things that you don't agree with that I'm false or there's this weird thing. Like you gotta learn to accept other people's knowledge, even if you don't agree with it. Because I love the fact that you're here to talk that you have your own channel, that you have your own beliefs, that you talk about them, that you do your thing. I love that because I don't want there to be just one right information. I want there to be multiple. I think you need to watch my channel, bro. Um, yeah, I think you need to understand that with LSD, it is just tripping because it's semi synthetic. With DMT, ayahuasca, and mushrooms, it's traveling because they actually take you to the tryptamine world, the next dimension. No, this is facts, my friend. You're disrespecting God. Um, but where's God? You're disrespecting me as a human being, as one man to another. Um, it's just disrespectful. When you could come, I just don't see much love in your posts, my friend, like in your comments and the information. And Like it's okay to be right or whatever, but I generally don't care about being right. Like I don't care. I'm just trying to love. Like I'm just trying to live, enjoy my life, and have fun. Talk about it, bro. I'm close. I'm close to God every day. I just went down by the river today by myself to connect with Mother Nature. Like this is what I mean. Like that is so ego of you to think you know what I do in my life. To think that you know that like God is not the psychedelic molecules, my friend. That's one molecule. Like, do you understand that the molecules are just a creation of something? Something created the molecules, and that thing that created the molecules is the actual consciousness that the molecules attached to. Like, molecules are just molecules. They're inanimate objects. They're still physical. Um, but I don't know, my friend. I like having these little things with you because one day I'm hoping that I can kind of um, just get you to understand that see that's the thing that's the worst. If you think Mother Nature, if you think Earth is hell, then don't you think your beliefs that you're living in your own life are not good? They're not working for you. Like if your beliefs were working for you, I would be more likely to go towards your beliefs. But if your beliefs aren't even working for you, as in you can't be just a peaceful, positive, radiating light human being, if your beliefs don't make you radiate light, then why do you hold on to those beliefs? Because like holding on to the belief that Earth is hell is disrespectful to Mother Earth. Earth is not hell. The humans on this Earth are fucking hell. Remove the goddamn humans, and Earth would be fine. It's Mother Earth. Like Mother Earth is the whole thing. It's that Earth is a giant. Like the planets are organisms. We don't understand that. We're so ego as a human. We think little tiny humans on the giant planet are more god-like than the actual planet itself. Just because Earth can't speak to you, but Earth can speak to you. That's why it created the psychedelic molecules. You think you're talking to the psychedelics. You're talking to uh, different perspectives of the earth, or in a sense, or the earth allows you to have access to these things. Because where do psychedelics come from? The plants. And where did the plants come from? The earth. Like it's just I don't know how to explain it, but the earth is the actual fucking thing. And that's why we get too attached to the person. Like religions get too attached to Jesus or the book or the Bible or something, and psychedelic people get too attached to the psychedelics and say that it's the DMT or the mushroom or this or that or the ayahuasca, but really it's all one giant thing, one giant collective consciousness. And we have a collective consciousness, but the earth has a collective consciousness, and that collective consciousness is all the billions of different plants that are on the earth, and the many different psychedelics, from mushrooms to ibogaine to LSD to whatever. But like I said, LSD is semi-synthetic, so it's a little different, but it's still the thing because I've been able to travel with LSD, but it's harder. I've been able to get information from it, but it's a little harder. That's why with LSD, I use it more to trip, I guess. Like I have a little more fun with LSD than I would with something like ayahuasca or something. Like but that's because shit. I done did DMT hundreds of times, so I was like, it's time for a little bit of fun, like a little bit of whatever. And that's what I mean. That if you're not having fun on Earth, then that's your problem. That's your fault. Like no one else is to blame but you if you can't actually enjoy your life and spread love. Because I don't care about information. I care about spreading good feelings. Like I don't know. That's why I make music. Like I love making music because someone can hear my song and like it'll make like they can feel something. Like I like making people feel something, not just know something. And all I'm saying, is just the messengers is like you gotta watch how you're making people feel. Who cares that you speak the truth of the psychedelics, or who cares that we know? If we know the truth, that's great. If But I don't really care to teach people the truth. I just want to make people feel love, feel happy, feel fucking alive, feel uh great. Sometimes we live in a world where people learn the truth. These people don't even want to. A lot of people don't want to live anymore. Like we live in a world where people go through trauma as children, and we go through all this shit as human beings. So like sometimes fuck the truth. Sometimes we need to just comfort. We need to empower people first. Like I don't know. I'm like, hold on, let me close the fucking window. I be talking about some. Like I said, I live in the like living in the hood. I guess right, living in the projects. I bet these people think I'm fucking crazy. Bro, when my album drops, I want everyone to bump this shit like I bumped this shit. Like, y'all don't understand. Literally, this is like I don't listen to much music besides my own, like of some Wiz Khalifa here and there, um, and like maybe some Spangle and Bass Nectar, um, and some other like psychedelic musicians, like or psychedelic electronic music like that. But really, all I do is vibe to my own shit. That's what it's been like. Oh shit, let's come on. Connect. And literally, this is what LSD helped me do. It helped me create my own sound, my own different. Like I literally made my own style of music while I was, on the LSD, and I used it as a tool. Just the messengers. I feel like you need. I don't know if you ever heard of Kalundi E, but I think you need 20 dried grams, my friend. Like, uh, because, uh, man, I don't know. I think you need to realize that you can't help anyone else besides yourself. And if you can't help yourself feel love, happy, light, positivity, then you can't make anyone else feel love, light, positivity. That information is not real. Human words aren't real. The only thing that's real is actually what we actually feel. So, like, I just don't feel um, that your knowledge would be right for me. But I understand that your knowledge is right for you. If it's what makes you feel alive and feel great, right? I know my music makes me feel great. Hey. And if it wasn't for the psychedelics, I wouldn't have made this album. My apartment, fucking, the goddamn. So, like, because I live in the project, so all these fucking things are connected, and I'm at the bottom fucking thing. So, all of them are connected to the main thing outside, and then apparently that was clogged. So then water started coming up through the tub and through all the fucking drains and shit. So like then the tub started overflowing and then flooded the entire fucking basically from the bathroom to the living room. And I got a small 1 bedroom apartment. The only place that was not um didn't have water was the bedroom, and that was most likely because the people who made the apartment um, didn't do the flooring right. So like it dipped. There was like to go in my bedroom. There's like this dip in this thing in the floor that comes up a little bit. So like the water just moved all the way into the apartment, and then everything in the fucking living room got wet, and then like it was just so shitty. And then the landlord didn't come to fix it for a while, so then the water kept fucking coming. I just couldn't keep up with the shit. So like it just sucked. So I was literally cleaning water all goddamn day, yesterday, today, and still right now the water is almost finally all cleaned up, but it's still a fucking wreck out in the bathroom and the living room is still like just a wreck. So I gotta fix that, finish that tomorrow, and then I'm getting a new couch in a week or so. So like it's like I just feel like sometimes the universe fucks with me sometimes, right? Like I should have moved forever ago, but this is what I get. But like right now, it just makes more sense to stay in the shitty ass apartment because it's cheap. It's a shitty apartment where things are fucking up, but for the first time in my life, I'm able to save a little bit of money and try to get something physical in life. Like, I don't know. I've been one of those guys that's like, yeah, fuck money. I don't need money. I don't need any of that shit. But like, now I realize, no, I need something. I got kids. I got to balance things. I want to relaunch my online business, but I can't relaunch my online business without money. You need money to make money, which is the dumbest thing ever. But then when shit like this with the apartment or whatever goes wrong, it's like, well, like, yeah. Just the messenger says, well, the psychedelics have clearly showed me that the earth floods over now. Yeah. I'm in upstate New York, but I live right next to a river. So, like, living right next to a river, it's just one of those things. I just fuck yeah. Think I'm high. I don't smoke all day anymore. Like right now, I haven't smoked all day, and like right now is basically the first time I smoked. I guess I took a hit. I took a dab when I woke up, but like, um, if I told you what river, they'd be able to pinpoint my location. I'm just fucking around, but like, nah, for real though. Eventually, I want to talk about where I'm from and everything. Once I get life settled a little more. Fuck. Of course, I would have no lighter. Just the messengers. I appreciate you being man enough to actually have a conversation that I guess some people would say like is a rough conversation, whatever, but then still be man enough to be like, what state are you in? And just I don't know. That's awesome. A lot of people aren't grown enough to have a disagreement, but then still have a conversation afterwards. It's just weird to me. And I've learned that, man, you know, we're all different, but we're all awesome people. Like, everyone's fucking awesome, or at least everyone I've ever had a conversation with on the internet. We're all some awesome, interesting um, people. Like, ooh, I be forgetting I put wax in the bottle, so I'm like, you're sitting here like, damn. I don't think you know who I am. I'm the modern day. I fucking love music. I was sitting here thinking earlier that like I was making music before anything, before I even knew what the word psychedelic was. Like before I knew what drugs were, I was making music and it like saved my entire life. Like music was the very first spiritual practice I ever did. Being able to just because at first I was just freestyle, like I would rap, I'd write, but I'd also freestyle. And freestyling is this weird thing that like freestyling reminds me now, like now that I've done psychedelics and have deep trances and had trance experiences from psychedelics, being in the deepest psychedelic trance where you're having the most insane psychedelic visions, you know, with blindfold on, you're just going into the psychedelic world. That feeling while you're floating in that world, while you're in that world, is the same feeling that I get when I'm freestyling. Because I'm in a freestyle, you don't know what you're saying. And then it's also this. This is why now that's why I say I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Now, I know what I'm saying, but what I mean is, I free flow every fucking word I say, every video, everything I say. I don't write anything down or whatever. I am trying to write a book, but like because I'm so used to free flow and everything, it's really hard to write a book for me. But I'm getting there. Um, and I guess the only thing I don't free flow is my music. But like all these melodies and ideas, like I don't know what I'm doing when I make a beat. Like it's a blank canvas, and I just have a melody, and I'll be like, huh, maybe this, and then I'll just keep adding to it or whatever, and see that the song ends up becoming something that I didn't intend for it to become. And maybe that's just the way I make music, because a lot of people they'll talk about, oh, I want to make a trap beat. So then they make a trap beat, or they say I want to make a sad guitar hip hop style beat. So then they go and make a sad guitar hip hop style beat. But that's not how I make music. How I make music is however I'm feeling at that moment in time is gonna be scarred into the beat. Um, because it's whatever's flowing through me at that moment. Um, at the moment of this shit was flowing through me, and I was like, yes. But my songs take forever to make, like literally. That's why they're not really intended for rap beats or like for people to rap on and make songs on. Um, I'm trying to eventually start making beats that people can rap to because that'd be just a nice form of income. Just a nice way where I can start making money on the side where I might not have to work at fucking KFC or work at some shitty ass job that's taking up all of my time away from my fucking life. But like, because that's the most important thing that I realize matters is your time as a human being. Because you can always make more money. You can always get a different job. You can always get a different girl. You can always get a different every fucking thing. But you cannot get more time. You can always get more of everything else. More things, more clothes, more cars, more whatever the fuck. But I can't make more time. So realizing that the only thing I want to do with my time, I just want to make some fucking music. Like, swear to God, that's like all I want to do is make music. So, like, I don't know. It's this thing where all I want to do is make music and learn from psychedelics, but I also learn from plants. I don't just learn from psychedelics. I take a bunch of plants and herbs and I learned from the plants and herbs, and the plants and herbs also help me. I use them as tools. Like lion's mane mushroom, I use to help keep my brain sharp because lion's mane mushroom actually helps grow, helps regenerate brain something. I don't know. I don't want to fuck it up, but like it actually has a benefit. So all these herbs and things that I use actually benefit me in my actual life, and I realized that I just want more time to do what I want to do with my life. And all I want to do is make music. All I want to do is spend time trying to build this thing I'm trying to build. I want to, if I want to work, I want it to be something I built, like my website, my herbal thing, or eventually I have a bunch of t shirt designs that I made. That I want to drop when I drop my album, where it's going to be like merch with my album, Psychedelics and Computers. And like, I just want more time to do me, to be me, to whatever. And like so I realized that that's the most important thing. So I've been trying to work on this shit. Like, how can I just make music? How can I just spend more time with my daughter? How can I just spend more time with you know my business and learning? How can I spend more time? Like, really, how can I spend more time learning? Because while I'm at work, working a job, making money, it's taken away my time from learning because I don't watch Netflix, I don't watch Hulu, I don't watch anything. I haven't watched any of that shit since my ex broke up with me a month and a half ago. Like, swear to God, the only thing I watch is things I'm trying to learn. So and I also watch some, philosophical YouTubers and some psychedelic YouTubers or whatever, but I just don't watch um things like that because it's just a waste of my time. I'm all about once I realized shit, bro, like that's why I wasn't mad when my ex left because I was like, okay, that 2 years that I was with her was not a waste of time. It was the best decision I have spent my time on. Like being with her. I actually spent time with her. We actually got to know each other. We would have hour-long conversations. The way that I just sit here and talk for hours, like I could sit here for 4 hours and just talk, right? Um, but then she would also talk back. So she was really philosophical, and we would just communicate. That's why it was time well spent with my life. But as I sit back and think about, like, damn, I worked this one job for 4 years, and it didn't really do shit. I was working at this pizza place, and it wasn't really time well spent because I didn't do much with the money besides pay bills. Where I realize what I could have did with the money is invest in cryptocurrency. I could have uh, relaunched. I could have launched a business. I could have saved up too. Like there's things I could have done. Now I understand what I need to do with these things. Now I'm. It's and this is why I'm like I don't want to waste my time anymore. Like because I don't know enough to waste my time. I'm still a fucking idiot. Like as smart as I people think I am, I don't know enough to build my life into the way I imagine in my head. I envision, I can see my future, but I still am learning how to get there step by step. And it's this thing that I understand manifestation, that manifestation is really about learning how to control the thoughts in your head. And this is what I've been working on is for years. I actually sit down and meditate. I control the thoughts in my head. I'm like I've learned how to be peaceful in shitty situations, and I've learned how to be loving to people who in situations where it's hard to be loving. Like it's just this is actual work, actual practice, actual a repetition of the practices. I'm not just taking the psychedelics, and yeah, sometimes I take them to trip balls and have fun. Um, but I've had enough trips to be able to balance it all to understand. Well, this is really just about gaining control of myself, making sure I am happy, making sure I am alive, making sure I am energized, making sure I have enough motivation and energy to try to accomplish the things that I need to accomplish because the things I'm trying to do, it's really fucking hard. Like, I spent 15 years getting good at making music. Like, the program I use is FL Studios. I got that program when I was 12 years old for the first time. And like 15 years later, now I'm as good as I am with that program. Um but like I've made hundreds of beats, maybe thousands of beats, you know. I've lost most of them because they're on computers that I lost and hard drives that crashed or whatever. But right now, I think on this computer that I'm using right now, I have the beat I just had was beat 74. So I have 74 beats that I've made on this computer. But man, like it's that I need more time to get good at my shit. That's why I don't want to work a job. People think I don't want to work a job because I'm lazy. Like, everyone's like, well, why don't fuck don't you want to work a job, man? You need a job. And I'm like, no, you don't need a job. You need money. And I just need enough money to relaunch my online business and then I am fucking fine. Like literally, I'm fine. I've built enough connections, enough things with the herb farmers, with like I know this guy that knows people that own lotus farms, and I know this guy that people that own kratom farms, and I know this guy that people that own like this farm. Like I've built enough connections and things, and that's what I've done with my time, gained information, gained connections, had actual direct experiences with the psychedelics, then gaining information that will help me in my life. Because that's the problem with the psychedelic information is it's only giving you information that can help you in your life. Because I realize people cannot do what I am doing. That's it's complicated. They should do what I'm doing, but don't do what I'm doing because like if you're not a musician, don't spend 15 years trying to learn how to make beats because that's going to be a waste of your time. If you're not like if it doesn't make you feel the same way that music makes me feel alive. So because music makes me feel alive, it's this thing that genuinely just alive. No, honestly, like, and I don't mean to whatever, bro. Just the messenger says the most important thing a human can do is follow the psychedelics law. And no, honestly, I think the most important thing a human can do is follow their own soul's intuition. Um, because your own soul's intuition will lead you into a place that makes you feel right. I don't know how to explain it, but that's why, like, my ex leaving me, for example, my ex leaving me, she left me based on her own soul's intuition of, like, in a sense, saying she needs to leave. Like, yeah, like maybe she could have just sat down, talked with me, talked the problems out, and we would have been fine, and we could have just, moved, got an apartment together, and moved on with our life. But she did what she felt in her own soul's intuition. It's the thing that you can't explain, the calling, the whatever the fuck. But that's why, like, I respect her just for following her own soul's intuition, even though it shattered my my heart here. But like, it's just I think that's the most important thing, because that's the thing that'll make you feel better. Because it goes back to, we only get one life and you can't get the time back. So it's that, you know, what I do with my life is great for me and my life, but yeah, but what I do with my life might be a waste of time for someone else's life. Like, it just is what it is. Life is weird like that. We're all different. We're all here for different reasons, and we're all different. We're all one, but we're all different parts of that one. So like, we gotta figure out what part of the one we are. Like, it's that thing. Well, time to get to work if I can. Because usually I live stream on Instagram, and then I'm working on my computer on the beat. But if I'm live streaming on the computer and also working on the beat, it's gonna make the live stream lag. I'm fucking high, bro. It's a brand new beat that I started working on like 3 days ago. But I'm gonna get up out of here, guys, because I'm gonna get to working on the beat. But yeah, it was dope vibing with y'all, talking with y'all, and I hope y'all have a great night.